Welcome in, everybody, to Seattle, Washington, the iconic Space Needle here, welcoming you to the Alaska Airlines Arena where the Washington Huskies, 10-0 on the year, take on the Tulane Green Wave, 9-1 on the season. The Huskies 13th ranked in the country. Eldridge Recasner, Kevin Calabro, delighted you could be with us. Happy holidays to everybody. 10-0, ranked 13th. What did you think really at the beginning of the year of this Washington team? Do you think they'd be this far so soon?
No, I didn't, Kevin. I'm surprised. Coming into the season, they had a lot of question marks. The health concerns with Sean Kemp, the knee of Jannard Giroux, and of course, we didn't know what to expect from the big fella Robert Upshaw. So I'm surprised the Huskies are 10-0 at this point.
Well, they've done it with defense, clearly. I mean, holding opponents to 58 points per contest. 34% shooting. They have already beaten two top 20-10 teams, scoring the ball nearly 75 a game. The rebounding margin this year nearly +5 as opposed to last year. And of course, the block shots. Robert Upshaw has been an absolute monster. What a find he has been coming over the transfer from Fresno State. 4.5 blocks a game, leading the nation. How does he do it?
He just has great timing. He has great length, and I'm going to call him a member of SWAT, Special Weapons and Tactics. The weapon is his right arm. The tactics is the defense gets out there, funnels him to the paint, and Robert Upshaw takes care of it from there.
And then, of course, they've got the athletic point guards, Andrews, Nigel Williams-Goss. They are long. They can take some gambles, certainly, with somebody back behind them. And tonight against this Tulane team, off to a 9-1 start. Now, how do they get it done? Tulane
has got three guards that are doing most of the damage for them. Starks, Dabney, and Hook. That's what they're going to rely on to try to beat the Huskies tonight, but I don't think they can compete on the interior, and that's where I think Washington will have the advantage.
Shooting 48%, of course, from the field. The Tulane Green Waves from New Orleans, Louisiana, which is where my man hails from. You know all these guys.
That's my
right?
hometown, baby.
Absolutely.
Tulane recruited me back in the day.
But Washington right now is on an absolute tear. And here at home at 10-0, 13th ranked in the country. Lorenzo Romar has it ready at Alaska Airlines Arena as the Huskies get set to take on the Tulane Green Wave coming up next here on the Pac-12 Network. Welcome in, everybody, to Seattle, Washington, Alaska Airlines Arena here on the campus of the University of Washington. The 13th ranked Washington Huskies at 10-0 on the year, taking on the Tulane Green Wave, off to a good start themselves at 9-1 on the season. Ed Conroy, the head coach at Tulane, 47-year-old graduate of the Citadel, where he was head coach for 4 years. And their lineup this evening will feature the three guards that Eldridge Recasner referred to: Jonathan Stark, Lewis Dabney, Jay Hook. And between those two, they account for close to 36 points per ball game. Ryan Smith is up front as well with Dre Dry of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Lorenzo Romar, the coach of the Huskies, now in his 13th season. His winning percentage just under 65% at Washington, with 6 NCAA appearances. And no doubt having a great deal of fun with this group, because they believe Nigel Williams-Goss having an outstanding year, 8th in the country in assists per ball game at nearly 7. Andrew Andrews alongside, averaging 13 points a game. Jannard Giroux, Mike Anderson, and Sean Kemp Jr. up front. The improved health of Sean Kemp Jr. Certainly Jannard Giroux, who was out all of last year, save for 80-some seconds in the first game of the year when he tore the ACLU here at home against Seattle. They have provided a great deal of strength up front. And then the man you see in the middle, number 24 there, Robert Upshaw, 19 minutes a game, averaging 4.5 blocks per contest. That's a pretty nice front line to play with right there.
Oh, and he's a monster. He's a monster, Kevin, patrolling the paint like a watchdog.
And ready to go at any moment. You know, and getting all these numbers in just 19 minutes per ball game. The series history, just the second all-time meeting between the two clubs, with Washington leading 1-0. And that was a win last year without Jannard Giroux, going back to his hometown. That's why they scheduled the game.
Exactly. This game was set up for Jannard Giroux. He missed it last year, and I'm happy to see him back out on the court, and had a great game last game out against Oklahoma.
David Hall, Kelly Self, and Roderick Dixon are officials tonight here in Seattle. The tip is won by the Washington Huskies. Nigel Williams-Goss. Inside, it's Kemp on the block. And a turnaround hopper over Ryan Smith is off. And the Green Wave with a recovery.
Yeah, right off the bat, you can see the Huskies want to try to go inside and establish an inside game early.
This is Smith, the big man, turns a little half hook up and in over Kemp.
Nice. Big fella with a nice jump hook.
So each ball club trying to get it in deep and work inside out. Williams-Goss working the point, swings over to Andrews. Battled by Ryan Smith inside. Kemp has position, powers up a shot, hurried up, and a nice follow by Giroux. And Huskies on the board.
Yeah, the Huskies' influence right now is trying to get the ball inside to Sean Kemp. Great post move, missed it, but Jannard Giroux is there for the putback.
And now the Huskies extend their defense. Nigel Williams-Goss meets the ball on the bounce at midcourt. This is what you and I were talking about before the game. As a guard, and of course, you played at a high level in the conference and in the pros as a point guard. You're able to extend outside knowing you've got some guys in the paint to do just this, turn the dribble.
Oh, it makes all the difference in the world. It gives you a great amount of confidence to play with. It really does.
And then on the offensive glass, it's always nice to have a guy 6'10" hanging around.
You know, Jannard is starting to come into his own, Kevin. You know, I think he's gaining confidence right at the right time as the Huskies are ready to go into Pac-12 play.
Andrew Andrews out on the wing. Andrews will enter it to Nigel Williams-Goss on the post-up. We've seen more of this in his game, and the turnaround jumper's good.
Beautiful. You know, Nigel recognized he had a guy that was a little bit smaller than him and said, hey, I'm going to call my own number and post him up. Beautiful turnaround jump shot by Nigel Williams-Goss.
John Stark is a 6-footer, and Nigel Williams-Goss, lengthy, 6'3.5", 6'4" guard. Trey Dry on a dribble handoff in the far side. Lewis Dabney leans back for a triple. Giroux the recovery, and here come the Huskies. They'll push it whenever possible. Andrews, a steady ball handler into the lane, got upended by Smith. Took a hard fall. He's still down. Green Wave come the other way, 5-on-4. Ball deflected. It comes down to Anderson. Is still on the floor as Andrews, who took a real shot from Smith when he got into the paint. Trying to steady himself now. Yeah. Holding the knee, now holding the back of the head as well.
Yeah, it looked like he might have taken an elbow in the head there on that drive to the basket. Lost his footing a little bit.
And tried to make a hard cut and actually fell back.
Yeah, hopefully Andrew Andrews is okay. Looked like he is. Looked like he's shaking it off and ready to play.
One of the strengths of the Huskies is the interchangeable guards. They can do just this. Nigel Williams-Goss seals his man and they lob over the top. So the second straight possession. Andrews handles that on the point, and Williams-Goss goes to the block.
Nice recognition by the Huskies. I don't think this is by accident, Kevin. I think coming into this game, they looked at the film and saw that Nigel Williams-Goss would have an advantage. 2 plays in a row, he's posting up start.
Well, he had to carry so much of the load last year with all of those injuries and still came through with some very impressive numbers. A sophomore from Happy Valley, Oregon, 4 years at Findlay Prep in Vegas, averaging just under 14 points a ball game, and the assist to turnover ratio much better this year, just under 3 turnovers per ball game and nearly 7 assists.
That's a really good leader out on the floor. You know, I really admire the way he carries himself as a young player last year, and this year he's picking up where he left off.
We were here 2 hours before the game. He was on the floor after their 3 o'clock shoot around, working on the mid-range game, and now he comes out and pressures Stark. Pressure on the ball. Andrews recovers to help, and the ball deflected away. Good defensive stop by Washington. Yeah,
bad angle there by Stark, and just a poor entry pass into the big fella Smith, results in the turnover.
Anderson coming off a nice game against Oklahoma at 11 and 5, and back at his natural position now.
Yeah, Mike Anderson is a do-everything player for the Huskies, and never complains when he was playing the 4 left.
How about that for an interior pass? Giroux, the extra pass, just a redirection really to Kemp for the flush.
Well, that's the offspring of the guy who inspired the Magic Carpet Ride, so I'm ready to get on it, Kevin. I'm ready to get on it, baby.
He was definitely on it that time, and Giroux with a terrific find. Tulane trying to steady themselves as, again, the Huskies extend the defense. A lot of length. Anderson reaches, and a quick foul on him. How's that for a find? Giroux in deep to Kemp for the finish.
And this is like his daddy did back in the day.
Giroux had a nice game against Oklahoma. He had 12 and 6 rebounds. The inbounds, Anderson deflects the ball out of bounds. The Huskies off to a 10-0 start. You got to go back to, and you mentioned this before our broadcast, 05-06 when they got off to an 11-0 start with a very special team that year. And you get a sense that this may be a special team as well. We're starting to think that way.
I think team-wise it is a special team, but we see that guy's jersey number 3 hanging up in the rafters. Brandon Roy was a member of that team, along with John Brockman. Some great Huskies.
Here's a step-back jump shot that grazes the iron. Starks miss into the hands of Giroux, up the floor to Andrews. Now Anderson holding. Don't have it early. Now they send Nigel Williams-Goss to the post. He'll lay it up and in. And again, they cannot take that post position away from Williams-Goss. The Huskies have done a little bit of scouting here.
Yes, sir. They've done a little bit of scouting. I don't think Tulane has an answer. Yeah, Nigel Williams-Goss asking for the ball, recognizes that he has a mismatch, and once again puts it in.
Well, you get a feeling now that Ed Conroy's going to have to mix that up. They're going to have to find some length somewhere to put on Nigel Williams-Goss.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a change. Whoever's guarding Andrew Andrews, maybe a switch over to Nigel Williams-Goss coming out of his timeout.
But here's the thing about that. Because you have these two very fine guards interchangeable, you could then post Andrews and run the same stuff.
And they probably will, because he's a good, strong guard also.
So we'll see what Washington comes with here as they take an early lead at 9-2. Well, that was the other concern, I think, is emotionally, you get a big win against the 19th team in the country. You had a 20-point lead. The Huskies led by 20 in the first half, 13 at half. Oklahoma walked them down, as a good club will. You hang on to win a tight one late. And sometimes you can leave the emotion in Vegas and not come with it here at home, but that's not been the case here early.
And I don't think it's going to be the case no time throughout this season, because this team has came in with no expectations. I don't think anybody expected to be 10-0. I definitely didn't. And they're playing like they have a chip on their shoulder, Kevin, and I think that's going to carry through conference play.
Well, they just dismantled San Diego State here.
Locked them down like the Seattle Police Department.
Oh, absolutely. 13th team ranked in the country at the time and held them to 20% shooting. That's how good this Husky defense has been as Anderson fights over the top of a pick and denies. Ball deflected and then blocked by Kemp and recovered by Andrews. Andrews head up and scanning, looking to Kemp. Tried to lob over the top, but too much mustard on that one. Sailed it out of bounds in a turnover. Timeout on the floor with 15:50 left here in the first half. Washington off to a very good start, leading at 9-2 on the Tulane Green Wave. Pac-12 basketball is brought to you by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. Welcome in, everybody, to Seattle, Washington. The Huskies leading the Tulane Green Wave. A reminder, Christmas Day, Pac-12 Networks giving the gift of basketball classics. Notable games during our marathon include the 97 Arizona NCAA Tournament Championship run, Oregon against Texas in 02, UCLA's 95 NCAA Tournament Championship run, right here in Seattle, as a matter of fact, and Washington and Georgia from 2011. Check it all out on pac-12.com for the complete Christmas Day schedule. Washington off to a 4 for 7 shooting start. Tulane just 1 for 4. We welcome in our Oregon audience tonight that just witnessed the Oregon Ducks outlast UC Santa Barbara in overtime for the win.
As Jay Hook gets his first basket for the Green Wave. Nice jumper from the wing.
Hook averaging 12 a game.
Yeah.
Senior on this Tulane ball club.
Moving up the charts on the all-time three-point shooting list for Tulane.
Nigel Williams-Goss double teamed to the wing to Giroux up top with a right hand slam. That is Robert Upshaw, who made it look easy, and another fine dime thrown by Giroux.
Yeah, big fella showing his passing skills, Kevin, and Upshaw, great hands, catches everything and finishes everything in the paint.
Dylan Otsikowski in now for Tulane in deep up on the front line. As another three offered up by Jay Hook, it's nothing but net. He came in averaging 38% from three.
If Tulane's going to have a chance in this game, they got to do it with their three guards, and Hook so far is doing his part.
Long toss outside leads to a long rebound. Anderson trying to run it down. Good hustle play over on the far sideline. Dabney keeps it alive. Peyton Henson in the lineup now for Tulane. Henson is 6'8", a sophomore from Arkansas. Osetkowski makes a move right, goes left. Upshaw's up after it, blocks the shot. Osetkowski got it back, went into the air, and a jump ball called as Upshaw didn't move.
How you like it? Yeah, the big fella going up the ladder, throwing it down. Here he picks up 2 block shots, Kevin, but he doesn't even leave the floor. Just holds his hands up on both of them. Robert Upshaw, a difference maker for the Huskies, no doubt about it.
And then defends the inbounds pass with those long arms. Andrews in the passing lane, steps in front of Hook. He's got the steal up ahead to Nigel Williams-Goss, whose handoff is deflected away and controlled by Jonathan Stark. Nice play.
Yeah, good hands by Jonathan Stark on that play.
Stark ball fakes, elevates in transition, missed it. Rebound tipped by Upshaw outside of Giroux, and the Huskies are running.
Look at the big fella run the floor, Kevin.
Spotting up, a look at 3. That is short. That was Darren Johnson, who came in shooting 21% from 3. Stark the other way, missed it. Followed up and in by Peyton Henson.
Nice offensive rebound by Henson. Didn't anticipate that the basket was going to be made, stayed with it, and got a nice tip in.
Huskies lead is 1. Well, after the timeout, Ed Conroy going to his bench.
Yeah, and Tulane knocks down a couple of shots. You can tell it's lifted their confidence here.
Giroux skip pass. In they go to Williams-Goss. And that one is short. Recovered by Osetkowski. Up the floor of the bounces Stark with a chance to give Tulane the lead. Ball fake and adjustment for Hook. Uh-oh, he's 3 for 3 out there for beyond the arc.
Yeah, Washington's going to have to find him on the defensive end. No reason he just hit 2 shots. No reason he should be left wide open.
Tulane has played just 1 road game this year. That was in Loyola. Loyola of Chicago. They won that ball game. They lost their first game of the year to Wake Forest in a blowout, but have won 9 in a row since then.
Well, something's got to give here tonight, huh? One team 10-0 win streak, one on a 9-0 win streak.
Washington getting off to a terrific start. Outside, Williams-Goss for 3, triggering and off the mark. Andrews comes in to deflect it away. And a hustle play by Andrews, who's been all over the floor here in the first half.
Yeah, great hustle by Andrew Andrews on that play.
One of the 50-50 ball, not a bad handoff inside. Huskies now have come out with 3 turnovers in the last 4 trips down the floor. Osetkowski goes up and under, avoids Upshaw, and laid it in. Yeah, the Green Wave have taken a lead of 4.
Tulane is starting to get some confidence, saying to themselves, we can play with these guys.
13-2 run. Here's a lob ahead intended for Upshaw, but screened away from the rim. Osetkowski on the drive. Giroux got there with Upshaw, deflects it out of bounds, and Tulane will have it after the timeout. Jay Hook, 3-point shooter extraordinaire, has opened things up for Tulane. He's knocked down 3 of 3 from beyond the stripe. And the Green Wave, as a result, lead here by 4 in Seattle with 11:41 left in the first half. Eldred Brickasner, Kevin Calabro here in Seattle. Delighted you could be with us. The Washington Huskies trailing Tulane here early, 15-11. Before the season started, everyone thought Washington would be a middle-of-the-pack team, everyone meaning the media that cover the Pac-12. Lorenzo Romar certainly thought he had something going here, but did he really think it was going to be this special this soon? 10-0, and they have defeated 2 teams in the top 15 at the time. San Diego State, and an impressive win over Oklahoma, 69-67, just a couple of nights ago. First season with 2 wins over top 15 teams. Romar has been here now in his 13th season. And he would tell you you're only as good as your last game. And right now, the Huskies watching as Tulane is on a 13-2 run.
Yeah, Tulane is building some confidence behind Jay Hook, 3 for 3 from 3-point range. But then the big fella said, wait a minute, I can shoot it too. Wow.
Dylan Osetkowski knocking one down from the outer limits. Tulane 4 of 6 shooting. This is a 34% 3-point shooting team. The Green Wave.
He's 6'9", Kevin. I'm impressed.
Darren Johnson handling, whirling into the lane. Williams-Goss looks for Kemp on the block. They rotated to the corner. Quevin Winters is in, the junior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Williams Goss fakes two-man play. Kemp up to shoot. Missed the runner, but he's fouled, and he'll shoot two.
And a nice pick and roll by Williams Goss and Sean Kemp Jr. Let's see if the big fella can go to the line and knock him down.
Well, Kemp this year shooting 54% from the line, and the Huskies at 64% as a team. And certainly if you've got aspirations to go far in the tournament and in the Pac-12 regular season, you've got to be able to hit the free throws.
And that's a concern with the big fella, Robert Upshaw, who's shooting around 40%. But, you know, his stroke looks really good, and so does Sean Kemp Jr. I think it's just concentration.
Yeah. Nails the first, and the second follows.
There you go. Free throws aren't sexy. I try to tell the kids that all the time. They're not sexy like the three-pointer, but you got to make them if you're going to win.
Well, at the end of a game, you look at the box score, and most of the time it'll tell the story. Keith Pinckney is in the lineup now. To swing it out on top. Osakowski to Pinckney. The Husky bench has been very good.
Yes, they have. Outscored Oklahoma 24-4 the other night. You like that?
50-12 advantage in the last couple of games for the Husky bench.
Yep.
Williams Goss into the lane.
Nice find.
Trying to get Johnson going.
Oh.
Bucket won't count. Osakowski had himself set. Was he outside the restricted area?
I don't know about that one, Kevin. Yeah. The most controversial call in all of college basketball, the block charge call. Well, I'll give it to him. Looked like he was outside the restricted area.
Yeah, outside the area. Looked like he had his feet set. He's not leaning forward. Pinckney running the show now, defended by Williams Goss. Osakowski feeling it.
You can tell by the body language, huh?
After that first block, an Upshot comes over the top and blocks that one, but goaltending the call, and Pinckney will get it.
Yeah, I think Coach Romar can live with that. The big fella going after everything that comes into the paint, so I don't have a problem with that either.
What's the best tactic at attacking a shot blocker? You play one of the great all-round players, but also a very good shot blocker in Akeem Olajuwon.
Akeem Olajuwon, the best tactic is not to go in there. If you're playing against him,
avoidance.
Just avoid him at all costs. Dream's nickname should have been the Nightmare, because that's what he was for opponents.
Upshaw with a handoff from Williams Goss gets an easy bucket. Huskies need to get more of those. They're down 5 at 20-15.
You talk about his hands, Kevin. He has great hands for a big fella, man. You throw that ball to him, he almost catches it almost every time, and he can finish.
Little stutter step dribble and very good defense as they lock down on Lewis Dabney.
Yeah, Dabney got lucky on that play. Lucky to be called for a travel, because I thought it was an offensive foul. He pushed off a little bit.
Huskies have turned it over 4 times. And the Green Wave with 3 turnovers. 42% shooting for Tulane. 43% for the Huskies. Quevin Winters along with Williams Goss. Anderson, Upshaw, and Kemp on the deck. Williams Goss takes Pinckney in deep. Ball deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, looked to be off Tulane last.
Mack, looked like Mack had a hand on it.
That's a little home cooking, or a little road cooking in this situation.
Nonetheless, Tulane will take advantage of it. 3-point shooting has been the difference. 4 of 7 shooting for Tulane. And another 3. Straightaway look that is volleyed and controlled inside by Upshaw. Anderson. That is well off the mark from Quevin Winters.
Nice.
Deep. The Huskies have an advantage in the paint if they will just use it and stay patient. Anderson finding Kemp at the rim for the 2-hand jam.
Yeah, it's nice to see Sean Kemp back healthy, playing some great basketball here lately.
Tulane has built their 3-point lead using the perimeter game. The Huskies took an early lead by getting the ball in the paint. On the dribble, Pinckney, nice handoff inside to Smith. Upshaw's all over it, but a foul called inside. Well, when you weigh 257 and you seal a guy, you look for the lob.
Looks like his daddy.
And he had a little one on it too, didn't he?
Sean Kemp Jr. You know, Kevin, I'm just amazed how the guys, kids are, you know, you think about Sean Kemp Jr., Gary Payton II, you know, guys that played pro ball and their sons are kind of following their footsteps. Is good to see.
Yeah, you know, both young fellows have their own style of play.
Yeah.
We were at Corvallis a few nights ago, and Oregon State's off to just an outstanding year this year. Wayne Tinkle's done a real nice job to get the attention of that group, and GP2 has just been outstanding, already registering a triple-double.
Yeah.
You know what? That's just the second triple-double in the history of Oregon State. The other
held by his
reported
dad.
by his dad.
How about that?
Here's Andrews the other way.
Oh, Kemp wide open.
Yeah, they've got to look. They've got an advantage every time down the floor just by sheer size. But again, turnovers hurting them. That's their 5th. Now the Huskies come the other way on a Tulane turnover, and Anderson in the early break, giving it to Winters, stripped away. Nice play by Jonathan Stark on the bounce out of backcourt. Alert play by the young man. Looks inside to Smith.
Yeah, Robert Upshaw's got to kind of resist him a little bit, not let him get such easy position. That was a little bit too easy. We got lucky. Huskies got lucky he missed that one.
7.5 minutes to go first half. Anderson the ball fake. They collapse on him and he kicks. They go in deep. There's Kemp at the rim. Missed the shot, but again a good look.
Yeah, great steal. That's too deep for an offensive player to be if you're the coach of the opposing team. Sean Kemp is going to make most of those.
Huskies shooting 39%, Tulane 38%, but 4 of 8 from beyond the arc.
And Jay Hook's back in the ball game.
Trey Dry trying to muscle one up. Smith comes down with the ball and laid it in.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Smith isn't intimidated by Robert Upshaw. He's going right at him.
Now he got those blocks early. Now he figures, okay, the odds are with me. I'm going to score a few here now. Inside they go to Upshaw. He works the post with a nice drop step and got fouled in the act. Timeout on the floor here in Seattle. 6:41 remaining in the first half. Number 13, Washington, battling a determined Tulane group with a Green Wave up 6. Coming up on the State Farm halftime report with Drew Schiller. Number 6, Wisconsin takes on a very good California team at 10-1 on the year. Highlights of that game and the Pac-12 Sports Report update as well. Tulane Green Wave coming here shooting 34% from 3, but they have some guys historically who can let it go. This is not one of them. Osikowski. This very definitely is one of them. Jay Hook, Eldridge, he can let it go.
Yeah, we knew coming in if Tulane had any chance they would have to knock down some 3-point shots, and so far Jay Hook hasn't missed one. 3 for 3 on the night.
Now this season, the 3-point defense in the Pac-12, Washington is number 1 at 27%. But tonight, Tulane 4 of 8.
50% so far. Shooting it with confidence.
Now, Tulane started 1 for 6 from the field, 8 of 17 since then. Washington was red hot at 4 of 7 and 3 of 11 since then. We were talking about this first 14 minutes or so. Washington offensively, remember, was posting Nigel Williams-Goss with success. They were getting it into the paint, and then they stopped doing that and tried to force some things in transition. Upshot at the line, misses 2.
Yeah, some guys came off the bench and got a little shot happy.
Yeah.
Took some quick threes.
That can happen, huh?
Yep.
Jay Hook, good-looking ball player from Waco, Texas, will give it up. Jay Stark operating. Stark, the sophomore from Munford, Tennessee, scored 25 against Washington last year in the loss down there.
Yeah, scoreless so far here tonight.
Andrews running the show at point now with Winters out there and Upshaw, Anderson and Kemp. $17 to shoot. Winters looks at Upshaw. Now they try to swing it to Kemp. Overplayed by Osikowski. 9 to shoot. Now you're going to have to let something go. Andrews will.
Yeah, tough shot.
Kemp keeps it alive. Upshaw scrambles for it, wins the 50-50 ball, and on the arrow, Washington has possession of the ball.
I'm not sure he might have called timeout on that play.
Yeah, they did. Washington called the timeout after Upshaw secured it.
You know, the Huskies looked like they were trying to get that ball inside to Sean Kemp on that possession, but they just couldn't. Great defense.
Lorenzo Romar. You know, we mentioned that 95 UCLA championship team. He, of course, was an assistant on the team, and Jim Herrick won right here in Seattle, Washington. Lorenzo Romar, his Washington career has been a good one. 13th season here. Obviously, Eldridge, you did not play for him. Andy Russo was your first coach here in Washington. When you left at 90. Was Lynn Nance the coach?
Lynn Nance was my coach last year. But Lorenzo Romar has come in and he's raised the bar. You know, people are highly upset when the Huskies don't make the tournament. Talk about he's on a hot seat, but he's going to end up being the most successful coach in the history of Washington Husky basketball. And I got a lot of respect for Lorenzo. He's done a great job. He's getting guys in the NBA on a consistent basis, and Washington has become a destination where kids want to play.
Anderson will bring it in bounds. Nigel Williams-Goss had a flirtation with Harvard, but because of a relationship that he had struck up with Coach Romar from his years of playing in all these national teams, it was a natural fit to come here to Seattle. That entry pass is thrown at the knees of Kemp. Hard for him to gather that one in. It's a turnover to the Huskies.
Yeah, you don't want to hit a big man that low with an entry pass. But speaking of Nigel Williams-Goss, I had a chance to see him first time when he was in 8th grade. He was the #1 rated 8th grader in the country down in Portland, Oregon. So he came in with a lot of accolades.
Well, Sikowski gains an advantage with an elbow, and a foul call on the big man, giving it back to Washington.
I'll tell you what, the big fella plays with a lot of confidence, man. Yeah, he hit Sean with a little chicken wing there.
You got to be more subtle, though, that's for sure. Well, he's a true freshman from San Juan Capistrano, California. He'll learn. Andrews comes off the screen. Giroux screens high. Nigel Williams-Goss slants it to Anderson. He's a slasher. He is turned away, 3 seconds in the lane.
Yeah, I think the goal there was to try to get the ball inside to Sean Kemp because he was holding his post position, but they couldn't get it into him, and it results in a 3-second call.
Now, one of two things is happening: either ball pressure on the entry pass, or Kemp's just not working hard enough to seal his man.
I think it's the ball pressure. I think it's more the ball pressure because he's working extremely hard down there.
Tulane is up 6, 4:42 to go in the first half. Green Wave have moved into a new neighborhood this year. They're in the American Athletic Conference. It's a good one. It features the reigning national champion Connecticut and a Temple team that just thrashed Kansas today. Beat them by 22 points. Actually beat them by a final of 77-52. So that's the kind of competition Tulane is running into this year in the American Athletic Conference, featuring teams like Memphis and Cincinnati and Tulsa, Houston. Our friend Calvin Sampson down there coaching Houston.
Calvin Sampson back in college basketball. Yep. Tulane, of course, was in Conference USA, and then years ago in the Metro Conference for a long time. Signed up to be in the Big East. But then again, the Big East was everywhere. The Big East, Washington could have been in the Big East.
Everything fractured. Nice screen set by Kemp. Nigel Williams-Goss the kick here to Anderson. But again, the Green Wave.
There we go.
There's Kemp getting separation in the lob over the top of the two-hand jam.
That great steal by Sean Kemp, and I think that's the plan for the Huskies. They've been trying to get that exact play to work the last 3 or 4 times down court.
Kemp with 8 points. 4:02 left first half. 23-19 count. Tulane. Nice drive, but better defense by the 6'4" Williams-Goss. Hustles after the 50-50 ball tipped out of bounds. This will be Tulane basketball. Nice to have a big man, 6'10" Giroux, to enter a ball to a guy who weighs 257 who can explode like the Huskies. Green Wave of Tulane leading the number 13 ranked Washington Huskies 23-19. They have joined a new conference, the American Athletic Conference, along with Eastern Carolina and Tulsa. A conference that features UConn, the defending champions, coached by Kevin Ollie, who spent some time here in Seattle with the old Supersonics. And of course, Ryan Boatwright is back as well for that Connecticut team. Last time I saw, they were at 5-5 off to a slow start. SMU in there with Larry Brown. Got him to the NIT Finals a year ago as the head coach at SMU. And of course, Memphis in the NCAAs a year ago. So was Tulsa.
Tough conference.
Very tough. Osadkowski pounds the dribble into the paint, turns, finds a cutter. It's Henson. Henson comes down with his own miss. Reset of the shot clock.
tell you, Kevin, I'm impressed with Osakowski. For a big fella, he's got some nice footwork.
Well, just the scrappiness of Tulane.
They've come in here believing that they can win tonight. There's no doubt about that after a slow start.
After a sluggish start, indeed. Now very patient with it, 16 to shoot. Leading this game at shooting just 33% on the road. The threes have been falling very definitely. John Stark nails that one. His first three-point attempt of the evening, and they're now 5 of 10.
They're having it their way right now, Kevin. Huskies got to lock down. 50%.
Good overplay on the ball and deflecting it away. Jonathan Stark, last touch by Andrews, who is just trying to keep Stark away from racing the other way.
Yeah, Tulane's playing with a little bit more pep in their step right now.
9 turnovers for the Huskies. Maybe there is a little bit of a residual hangover from a win in Vegas against the then number 19 ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Didn't look so early, but now Tulane's just got the quicker step. 2:32 left in the first half. Handling is Jay Hook. Kicks to Peyton Henson and walks with the basketball. Coming up, the State Farm halftime report. Number 6 Wisconsin taking on California in Berkeley. Wisconsin awfully good this year. So is Cal, but not a ranked top 25 team this year. Highlights of that game and the Pac-12 Sports Report as well. The Huskies in the recent poll moved up to number 13, just ahead of number 14 Utah.
Yeah, the Pac-12 with 3 teams ranked in the top 25, and California had got a couple of honorable mentions, so they're right on the cusp of it.
Outside, Andrews triggers for 3, dancing off.
The crowd getting a little restless here, screaming rebound behind us.
Well, then that's a good point. We should give him a microphone. It's a 17-14 advantage for Tulane. Into the lane, Hook steps through a double team, missed the shot. Recovered by Upshaw. Here's Anderson the other way. Yeah, rebounding is about grit and determination. There's a quick opportunity from Andrews. There is a determined rebound and a powerful putback by Anderson for the bucket.
Well, you talk about grit and determination. There's a grit and a determination guy. Mike Anderson does it all at 6'4", 6'5" for Lorenzo Romar. Here's Andrew Andrews, shoots a little jumper in the lane, and of all people, Mike Anderson gets the rebound and finishes it for the and one.
Anderson, the three-point play.
He's a glue guy, Kevin. You know, he's the kind of guy that doesn't get all the ink after the game is over, but he's a guy that coaches love to have on the team. Do whatever you ask.
Lewis Dabney whirling, throwing the entry pass low. Osakowski will field it, forced into a bad shot up over Upshaw.
Yeah, but Upshaw can't be content just to give him position and think he's going to block the shot. He's got to fight him a little bit.
Williams-Goss crosses over, and Stark reached in for the foul. Just the 16th foul on Tulane. Well, actually the 7th, and now it's Williams-Goss to the line. Huskies in the bonus.
Tulane has come out to play, Kevin. Huskies feature the nation's leading shot blocker, and I tell you what, Tulane is going right at him.
I think I asked you earlier, what do you do with a shot blocker? And, you know, I guess common knowledge is you avoid him when you can, but you can't avoid a guy like that if you want to get anything going in the paint. So what do you do with a body, I guess? You go at him.
We go at him, and that's exactly what Tulane is doing.
Osakowski, high pick and pop.
Now this is an interesting matchup right here because Osakowski has proven he can shoot the 3-ball, and now he's got Robert Upshaw 20 feet away from the basket.
Pinkney with a cross into the paint. Jump stops and looks. Jay Hook closely guarded by Anderson. 11 to shoot. Ball stolen away. Andrews the other way. He'll challenge Henson. Goes by with a lefty. Nice follow by Giroux up and in. And the Huskies have rallied to pull into a tie at 26 on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, nice follow-up by Giroux on that play. Another steal coming. Yes.
Deflection. Giroux up the floor for the two-hand jam.
You can see him thinking about it a little bit. Trying to see if he was really going to go for the dunk.
Look at the trap of the ball here.
Yeah, and the big fella at 6'10", getting out there, getting the steal, Kevin, and goes in for the little two-hand. I got to call that a flush. Jannard Giroux.
It was the same type of play that he tore the ACL last year against
Seattle U.
Seattle. He was bumped slightly, landed awkwardly, and that's where it just let go on him. And 80-some seconds into the game,
Yeah.
he set out all of last year, and then got busy in the weight room and added some weight to that frame. And this kid was a point guard, played a lot of guard in high school, and just, of course,
went from 6'3" to 6'10".
Exactly.
Yeah, over one summer. I wish that could have happened to me back in the day.
So he's still testing that knee a little bit.
You can tell on that play, he's still a little unsure. Yep.
Giroux has filled up the stat sheet, though. 6.6 boards, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. 7 seconds remaining in the half. Dabney will hold for one last shot. Dabney trying to get by Giroux, but a bumping foul outside.
Yeah, you know,
and the non-shooting foul, this would be just the 14th foul in Washington.
and you figure Tulane has played this well without their leading scorer scoring so far tonight. So they have to be happy going into halftime.
Smith will come in for Osakowski. So the Huskies with a foul to give on that play due. 1 and 7, 10 seconds remaining. And John Stark to bring it in bounds. Keep an eye on Jay Hook, the good three-point shooter. He'll maneuver toward the ball. They try to feed to Smith. It gets away from him, but we have a whistle. Shot clock is stopped at 0.8 of a second, and Roderick Dixon, our official, will come over here and he'll confer with the scorers table.
I'm not sure if anyone touched that ball or not. Maybe that's what the official is talking about. Yeah, reset back to 1.7. Nobody touched that.
Kelly Self, David Hall, Roderick Dixon, our officials. Take a look here. It looked like it went off of Smith.
Did it hit Smith? Yeah. Looking at the replay, it looked like it did.
So they'll leave it at 0.8. Ball went into bounds here in backcourt, where the Huskies will bring it in play. Washington taking the 2-point lead after falling behind to the Tulane Green Wave. And Andrews will let it fly from half court. And just off the mark. Eldridge, first half on balance. What'd you see?
Huskies got to feel good that they're up 2. They started off good, but Tulane played some good basketball. The Huskies, who've been holding people to 26% shooting from the three-point range, tonight Tulane is knocking down shots.
And Washington's been taking care of the ball better than they have here in the first half on balance in their previous 10 games. 9 turnovers at half against Washington, shooting themselves in the foot. 28-26 halftime score. Washington leading Tulane here in Seattle on the Pac-12 network. It's the State Farm halftime report here from the University of Washington campus in Seattle, Washington. 28-26, number 13 Washington leading the Green Wave of Tulane. Eldridge Recasner, Kevin Calabro. Happy holidays, everybody. Glad you could be with us here tonight. Well, Tulane, look, they're 9-1. They've got a lot of confidence coming into this game. Why not? They were letting it fly. The threes were falling. Defensively, they had 6 steals. They forced turnovers against Washington in the first half. But here's the way things generally went.
Yeah, here early on, Nigel Williams-Goss posting up Jay Stark. Got off to a good start, but Jay Hook said, wait a minute, I can shoot the 3 ball. 3 for 4 in the first half.
They were 5 for 10 in the first half, was Tulane. And then Washington woke up and realized, hey, we've got 3 guys that are 6'10" or better up front, and they can play. Let's find them.
I think that's where the Huskies are going to win this ball game.
And Tulane just hangs in there with that 3 ball, the great college equalizer. If you can hit threes, you can stay in ball games and play some defense. Jannard Giroux quietly has put together a heck of a night in 14 minutes. 6.6 boards, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. Look at the shooting. Eldridge 42% for Washington, still holding those opponents under 35%. That's a good sign.
Yeah, but got to do a better job in the second half of keeping Tulane off the three-point line. 5 for 10 at 50%. That's too much.
There's points in the paint, though, for Washington. A 20-10 advantage. There is gold at the rack. If the Huskies would just step up and take it, we'll see. They lead by 2 halfway through. Pac-12 basketball tonight comes to you from Seattle, Washington, with the number 13th ranked Washington Huskies at home here at Alaska Airlines Arena. Lead the Tulane Green Wave by 2. Jay Hook leading the way for Tulane, hitting the three-point shot. Sean Kemp Jr. 8 points. Nigel Williams got 7. Gennard Giroux with a half dozen halfway through. And Robert Upshaw tonight with 3 blocks leads the nation in block shots at 4.5 per ball game. Huskies with possession to start things here. They've got to take better care of the basketball, that's for sure. And of course there are points to be had in the paint, but Andrews will trigger a 3 and is spun around off balance, but contact made no whistle. Long shot leads to a long rebound.
Yeah, so much for that getting the ball inside, huh?
Yeah, that was an early trigger,
yeah,
too.
It was. It was.
Here's Jonathan Stark with it. Swings over to Lewis Dabney. Huskies, by the way, 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. 11 to shoot. Nice cut by Dre, and they feed off inside. Dre comes down to the rebound.
Yeah, that was a beautiful backdoor cut by Lewis Dabney. Tap of the chin by Jay Stark. See what that play is.
Trey Dry with it, heading down to the inline. Jump stops, powers up to the rack, and is fouled. And he's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that was a nice strong move by Trey Dry, who was really quiet in the first half, but maybe he's trying to establish himself here in the second half.
Dry from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 6'6", 225. Kept that baby alive inside. Tulane has held their own on the glass. Now rebounding the Huskies 22-19. It's 7 offensive rebounds halfway through.
Yeah, Tulane has held their own everywhere. I didn't expect it to be this close. 28-27 as we get underway here in the second half.
Their only road game of the year in Chicago against Loyola, and they beat the Ramblers 83-70. Here's a pass ahead. Anderson at the rim to lay it up and in.
Yeah, the Green Wave fell asleep on that one. Nobody back after the missed free throw.
No Green up in the backcourt. Dabney outside had a notion. Hook will swing to Stark. Those are the 3 principals offensively. Stark, Dabney, and Hook. Stark steps back, fires over the oncoming Kemp, but leaping out of the weeds was Dry to grab the offensive rebound, and Stark will reload for 3.
Oh boy.
Giroux's tied up with Dry and shoves him to the floor.
Yeah, on the missed free throw here, Kevin, nobody back to prevent Mike Anderson from getting the easy 2. Defensive breakdown by Tulane on that play.
Upshot's going to come in and get Giroux, who was obviously frustrated.
Yeah, Coach Romar has a few words for him over there.
Well, a guy like Dry right now is operating full of confidence.
The entire Tulane team is operating full of confidence right now. They believe they can win this game.
Ryan Smith gives in the corner. Dabney works his way in the paint cautiously. A little floater is off. Upshaw had it deflected. Williams-Goss tracks it down for Washington.
Yeah, Dabney 0 for 5 after that shot. Hasn't scored yet.
Anderson in transition knocks down the first 3 of the night for Washington. They had missed the first 6. And it's a 33-27 count. Washington by 6.
Yeah, Mike Anderson knocked that one down right at the right time.
Williams-Goss extends the defense, and some slight contact made with Jonathan Stark and a foul call.
Yeah, Mike Anderson running the floor, spotting up for the 3 ball. Side pocket. Yakka.
Anderson shooting 41% on the year, 11 of 27 from 3. He can do it. He's an excellent shooter. 49% from the field and nearly 80% from the line.
He's just a really good all-around basketball player. Does whatever you ask, doesn't complain.
Jonathan Stark turns the step through, too strong, rebound batted by Upshaw, controlled in the paint by Williams-Goss, knocked down in deep by Ryan Smith, and a foul call.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, Tulane seems to just be a little bit more aggressive to the ball here in the second half here early. Yeah, Upshaw on that one. Upshaw on that play right there just lets it go, doesn't pick up a cheap foul trying to get a block. And Nigel Williams-Goss on the floor.
Tulane shooting 28%. Anderson, the hard left-hand take, hands off to Kemp. Tipped up and in by Upshaw.
Yeah, nice tip by the big fella. Came out of nowhere on that one, Kevin.
Washington opens up their largest lead of the night. And Ed Conroy, the fifth-year coach of Tulane, will call a timeout. Washington on a power drive, 16-1 run since 3:11 of the first half. And Washington leading here by 8. Santa just kind of chilling. He's got the elves, you know, they're all set to go. Some of them got their purple on, obviously, but Santa's going to put a pillow down his coat. He'll be ready to go on time. Look at the Huskies. They've been holding opponents to just under 35% on the year. Tulane shooting 29%. And Washington, Eldridge, really controlling things in the paint at 24-10 advantage. Shammond Williams,
yes,
in his
sir.
second year as an assistant coach at Tulane. Shammond Williams, one of the nicest guys you're going to want to meet in the game. Played at North Carolina, played for the Seattle Supersonics as well. In a 13-year career, both in the NBA and in Europe. Good to see Shammond.
Huskies picking up the defensive intensity here. Nigel Williams-Goss with a nice deflection. Now you talked about they're holding them to 29%. If it hadn't been for the three-point shooting in the first half, this game might be out of reach for Tulane. But the three-point shot kept them in it in the first half.
Yep, they were 5 of 10. And that, the fact they played pretty good defense. 6 steals, 9 Husky turnovers. Osikowski dribble handoff, hooks on the run, and fouled by Anderson. Who had good position, but a little overzealous. Huskies holding opponents to 34%. Oregon State, Wayne Tinkle's done a real nice job with that group early in the year. And of course, Larry Krzysztofiak,
done a great
his
job.
former teammate at Montana.
Yeah, at Montana, yeah.
Of course, Tinkle was an assistant coach for him there as well. At Utah, preaching defense, just as they do here in Seattle. Of course, that's been a constant with Lorenzo Romar, right? You don't D, you don't play.
You don't win. And you're right. If you don't play defense, you're not going to see the floor with Lorenzo. You know, defense wins games. There's no doubt about that.
Anderson tied up as they trap the ball.
And speaking of defense, Tulane with a great half-court trap there. Going to get possession on the tie-up.
Stark and Hook got over there to pin him. So Tulane will take possession, try to speed up the game a little bit here with a 6-point deficit looking at them in the face, but plenty of time. 16:40 left.
Yeah, so far as Tulane is showing their 9-1 record, there's no fluke. They're coming in here tonight playing like they expect to win.
Dry. Outside to Hook. Now Stark will take over, 17 to shoot. Dry to the baseline. Andrews comes over, shuts him off, 7 to shoot. Anderson reaches. That allows Stark to drive. Air ball sails. Stark got it back, catches rim. That's a free ball, and Upshaw comes down with the board.
That was a beautiful defensive possession right there for the Washington Huskies, showing why they're holding teams to 34% from the field.
Andrews curls off a screen, throws to the far side, and the pass intended for Williams-Goss is too far out in front of him and out of bounds. Huskies with 11 turnovers. They average just 11.5 per ball game. Nonetheless, they lead by 6 here on the Pac-12 Network. Pac-12 basketball is brought to you by Panera Bread. And now order online for rapid pickup at Panera. The big wheel in Seattle. Christmas Day Pac-12 basketball marathon. Relive classic NCAA tourney games, including UCLA's 95 NCAA tournament championship run right here in Seattle. Arizona's 97 NCAA tournament championship run. Oregon and Texas from 2002. And Washington and Georgia from 2011.
95, Tyus Edney. Coast to coast.
Yeah. Sensational.
And then 97, a kid from right here in Seattle, Michael Dickerson, Arizona. Yep.
Huskies on top by 6. Dylan Otsikowski playing pivot, handling up top, putting the dribble on the floor, methodically going to the rim and laying it in with the right hand.
I tell you what, Kevin, the big fella's crafty, man. Faked the handoff, took it to the basket with a nice reverse. I like him.
Looked like big country on that one. 35-31, Washington by 4. Williams Goss head down, shoulder leaning into the lane and tied up by
great.
Jonathan Stark on the arrow. Washington will take it.
Here's the big fella. Shows it to Robert Upshaw, but hits him with the reverse.
Got the big country flat top as well.
The flat, I know I'm getting old. The flat top is back. I used to rock that back in the mid 80s. Kevin Calabro had the coldest one on the West Coast, baby.
Upshaw out of his element, throws it away. Stark the other way into the lane to the glass and fouled. And so Upshaw with a couple of errors on both ends of the floor. How does he end up with the ball, though, outside handling that way?
You know, I don't know what, I haven't seen that play so far this season where Robert Upshaw is 25 feet away from the basket. Obviously, like you said, out of his comfort zone, and as a result, turnover.
So Stark will head to the line. The Huskies are really flirting with disaster here. 13th team ranked in the country. I don't think I'm overstating that. 10-0. And Tulane is hanging around here with under 15 minutes remaining.
That's the key word, hanging around. That's the last thing you want to do, is let a team hang around and get confidence. And right now, that's exactly what Washington is doing.
Upshaw comes down with the rebound on the Stark missed free throw. Williams Goss the other way with Anderson. There's a pass in the paint to Kemp. They come to double. Williams Goss fakes and drives. A hasty pass to Kemp. And an interception, and Stark comes the other way.
Yeah, Nigel always unselfish, looking for the assist, but he probably should have shot that one.
13 turnovers in the Huskies. Henson fakes the 3. Great diagonal pocket pass inside, and there he is again. Otsikowski, the true freshman, San Juan Capistrano.
Well, you asked me, what do you do against a shot blocker? That's exactly it right there. Otsikowski is taking it right at Robert Upshaw.
Use that rim for a little protection.
Yeah.
Washington by 2. They've had no perimeter game. 1 of 7 from 3. Huskies shooting 45%. There's a lob up top to Upshaw. And they got fouled on the sleeve, and they'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, here's a big fella using the other side of the rim, using the rim for protection, and Robert Upshaw can't get to it. But here on the other end, Kevin, I think I see what the Huskies are trying to do. They got a design play where Upshaw's out on the perimeter outside the 3-point line, and they're trying to get him for a backdoor lob. He's holding his right wrist. I don't know if he hurt his arm on the rim or what.
Yeah,
that's the same problem you used to have, huh? Just hurt your forearm on the rim.
My forearm.
Back in the day.
Yeah, of course, yeah. When we cranked that down to about 8.5 feet, you know. Back in the day, the adjustable rim. Upshot the line, knocks down the free throw. 6 minutes gone by here in the second half.
You look at his technique, and it looks good to me. I'm not sure why he's struggling so much from the line.
Missed that one short, and Otsikowski comes down with the rebound. Peyton Henson working the wing for the Green Wave. He'll spin, he'll drive, and the shot off the mark. Dorsey with the rebound. Donovan Dorsey, an excellent 3-point shooter.
Yeah, Donovan Dorsey is one of the guys that looked to take some of the slack that C.J. Wilcox left when he went pro last year.
So Tulane doubles the post. They throw out of the post, and there's Nigel Williams-Goss hitting a 3-point shot.
Inside-out game, baby. It'll work all night if you're patient.
And the Huskies really offensively, I don't think, have shown great patience. They lead here by 6. Osikowski, the drive, the left-hand leaner on the run. He lays it in.
Kevin Calabro, I'm telling you, Osikowski's a baller. As a freshman, he's coming into Alaska Airlines Arena and showing he can do a little bit of everything.
He has 11 points and 5 rebounds.
And just his look, he looks like a guy that thinks he should be doing. He's playing with a lot of confidence. Nigel Williams-Goss got lucky on one right there. That was a clear push-off.
Okay, John Mack went to his backside. Anderson handles, pumps it inside, right to Osikowski. On to Stark, into the lane to the glass, explodes to the cup and laid it up and in. And the Green Wave of Tulane have rallied to within 2. The Huskies now have tied a dubious mark of 14 turnovers.
Wow, 14 turnovers.
For a season high.
Yeah, I know Lorenzo Romo is not happy about that.
Williams-Goss, little stop and go dribble, and foul by Jonathan Stark.
Here we go with Tulane. You know, I can't say great defense, just with a bad pass by Mike Anderson, and John Stark just takes off. Nice crossover for the easy 2.
Bigney will come out, and Jay Hook will come over to the Tulane bench. Washington will bring it in play. Williams-Goss off the curl, up and up and up to Kemp, who continues to ascend and throws it down with 2 hands.
Yes, sir. Sean Kemp Jr. finishes as well as anybody in America on those lobs.
Nice 2-man play on the pick and roll, and a foul called as Lewis Dabney wanted to bump the cutter. Well, you can't do that. But a foul on Dabney is the 4th turnover, or I should say the 14th foul on Tulane.
Yeah, Dabney's really struggling tonight. Tulane's leading scorer coming into the game, and he hasn't scored as of yet. Maybe a little frustrated. Tulane going to a little 3-quarter court trap here.
Anderson had it deflected. Williams-Goss redirects. Dorsey a 3. Too strong. Dabney leads in for the rebound. And Keith Pinckney now will bring it up in the front court.
I'm not sure that's the shot Lorenzo Romo wants on the other end.
Dabney, a straightaway look. That is off. Here's Anderson. He has Dorsey on his right. Williams-Goss fanning out on his left. He'll cross over, drive, and kick. Dorsey will drive it and lose it.
Yeah, another careless turnover there.
Holy cow. 15 turnovers, Eldridge.
Yeah.
15.
Uncharacteristic for the Washington Huskies so far this season.
Huskies, maybe they've been into too many Christmas cookies. Maybe that's it. It's only a theory. Washington up 4. Well, Washington in a close shave here with Tulane leading 41-37 in our transition to the Barbasol close shave player of the game. Eldridge Rukasner. Who's that going to be? How about Jannard Giroux? You like that?
Looking good so far here tonight, showing his versatility. Hitting the offensive glass, making nice assists, getting the steal, finishing with the stuff basket on the breakaway. Jannard Giroux.
Got the new knee. He was just kind of testing it out there.
Still be a little unsure of how it's going to hold up if he's out on the breakaway, but I'm happy for Jannard Giroux. Turn it on at the right time as the Huskies get ready to go into Pac-12 play.
Tulane shooting 32%, but they have only turned it over 10 times, forcing 15 turnovers on Washington.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for the Huskies.
Tulane has scored 13 points off of turnovers. And here's a foul called out on the perimeter.
This is the one problem that Donovan Dorsey faces. You know, he's a freshman, and most freshmen struggle with playing defense. And although he can shoot the lights out, he has a tendency to pick up some quick fouls on the defensive end.
Dorsey chasing Dabney off the screen. Giroux will switch. Dabney will go right at the big man. And a good stop by Giroux, who picks up the rebound and is tied up by Osikowski. And David Hall says he had it a sufficient amount of time. Look at Giroux's defense inside.
Yeah, he moves his feet and he doesn't even jump. You talk about length. There's his length on display right there. Holds his ground, holds his hands up, and gets another block.
Tulane will take possession on the arrow. Henson pounds it to Dabney in the paint. Shows, whirls, shot blocked by Giroux, recovered by Anderson. Ahead to Kemp, into the air, off the magic carpet for a two-hand jam.
I saw a little Sean Kemp Sr. antics right there, a little swag, Kevin Calabro. He gave us a little bit of it, baby. Yeah, he got a little bit too happy.
Yep. Pinckney whirls into the paint, laid it in to answer. And Anderson the other way. Washington on top, 43-39. Giroux outside, Williams-Goss. Shakes left, cuts right, jump stops, powers up the hook. Everything right, but the shot off the mark.
Yeah, I think Nigel Williams-Goss had made up his mind that he was going to shoot that one.
Pinckney comes the other way, and then Dorsey in retreat, fouls him.
Here we go, Jannard Giroux with the great block. And Sean Kemp Jr. goes on a magic carpet ride. Big fella throwing it down like his dad there, Kevin.
Well, you know, the thing that folks may not recall about Senior is that he ran on every possession rim to rim. And we've got a guy that size that can rim run on most possessions. Boy, good things are going to happen for him.
You know, I had a chance to play with Sean before he was drafted by the Sonics. We played on a team that represented the United States over in Taipei, Taiwan, called the R.W. Jones Cup. And, man, he was a grown man.
Yeah.
Built like a grown man coming out of high school. Phenomenal athlete.
43-41, Washington by 2. And, again, full court pressure, a trap at 3/4, I should say, applied by Tulane. Slows Washington. And Anderson handling. Williams-Goss looking in deep. Osakowski fronts the post. Kemp gets in front. Osakowski slips in front. 16 to shoot. The battle within the battle develops inside. Anderson throws the lob pass to Kemp before he's ready to catch. And Tulane will run out with a chance to tie, and they do.
That's just great defense by Osakowski on Sean Kemp. The Huskies look like they're trying to get the ball to Kemp, but Osakowski's working hard. He's fronting them, making it tough for the Huskies to get the ball in there.
16 turnovers, a season high for Washington.
Yeah, Lorenzo Romar is not happy. I can see that look on his face. I've seen that look before. Yeah, Osakowski with the great front, creates a turnover, and now Tulane is in transition. Easy bucket. This Green Wave team to come in here, Kevin, and tell you what, with 9:53 left, it's all tied up.
Their defense has been very good. Look, they have forced 16 turnovers. They have 9 steals so far tonight due to the Green Wave.
And their leading scorer hadn't scored yet. Pretty impressive.
Dabney is 0 for 8 shooting from the field. Osakowski's picked up that slack with 5 of 9 shooting.
He's had a great ball game so far here tonight. Knocked down a 3. Taking Robert Upshaw off the dribble. And not playing afraid. You can just look at him and see he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Andrews will come out along with Williams-Goss. Jannard Giroux. Darren Johnson is out, and so is Sean Kemp on the floor for Washington.
It might be time for Nigel Williams-Goss to take over this ball game. Got off to a good start with some early post-ups. Tulane made some adjustments and been kind of quiet since.
Pinckney, the 6'2 freshman, will defend Williams-Goss in backcourt. Ball was still in backcourt when he went to get it. And now contact made outside by a very aggressive Keith Pinckney. And a foul. This will just be the 16th foul on Tulane.
Yeah. Pinckney with very tight defense on Nigel Williams-Goss. They're playing with a lot of confidence here, Kevin.
Yeah, they've been very impressive on the defensive end. Here's Giroux with it. Williams-Goss posts up, low left side. Osakowski comes to double. Out it comes to Giroux, drives into Osakowski, and a charge. And another turnover, the 17th of the night on the Washington Huskies.
Yeah, you love the aggressiveness by Jannard Giroux, but he should have pulled up on that one. Yeah, the young fella for Tulane is doing a little bit of everything. Takes the charge. You know, coaches love that.
Got a jump stop at that point.
Yeah.
Jump stop, and then you've got options to pass, shoot.
Get a little pull-up jump shot. I agree with you.
Tulane on a 6-0 run. And the 4th foul on Giroux. They got to reel him back to the bench. And now the Huskies go 2-3 zone with Upshaw in the middle.
2-3 zone has been paying huge dividends for Huskies so far this season. Let's see what happens here.
So Giroux on the bench. He's been making plays. Here's Henson. Shot fakes. Pinckney. Dabney was yet to score.
Shot clock running down.
Dabney a 3. Got it. And this is always the case. Guys 0 for 8. And then, you know, averaging 13 a game. The numbers tell you he's going to get it done. And there it is for the lead. Tulane 46-43 with 8:42 remaining.
Wow.
And a deflection and another turnover on Washington. 18 for the game.
Yeah, Washington isn't playing with a sense of urgency here. Tulane's leading scorer, Lewis Dabney, hasn't scored all night. Shot clock running down.
Yeah.
When in doubt, shoot it. Hopefully that doesn't get him going here.
Well, you know, he came in a 47% from 3, Aldridge, so 16-34. Numbers rarely lie. He's going to get his. And the Huskies, we mentioned at 15 minutes left in the second half, they're flirting with disaster here. You know, you're ranked 13th in the country, 10-0, 2 days removed from Vegas, where you beat an Oklahoma team, and emotionally, it just doesn't seem to be there right now.
Well, the worst thing you want to do is let a team hang around and give them life, and that's exactly what the Huskies have done.
And this is the play, the kind of play they need. Up the floor quickly. Johnson goes to the rack, scores, is fouled, and now will go to the line.
That's what they need. Darren Johnson off the bench, slash into the basket for the ass one. Here Darren is. He gets a pass from Andrew Andrews, attacks the basket, finishes with the left hand. Darren Johnson, nice move.
So Johnson trying to bolster the Husky contribution off the bench does with a 3-point play. Previous 2 games, Eldridge pointed out, UW had outscored their opponents 50-12. Tonight, Tulane has a 15-8 advantage.
Wow.
In bench points. Osakowski works up top. Looking to dribble hand off to Dabney. He'll toss a 3. Henson deflects the rebound to Dabney. Reset of the shot clock.
Dabney wants to take it himself here.
Johnson, the sophomore, digs in on Dabney. Will turn and face. Squeeze one off. Missed it. Williams-Goss in transition. Henson fronts the post. Kemp inside trying to screen down for Andrews, who works his way up out of the paint, but a foul's called on the opposite side. Osakowski gets a piece of Upshaw.
Yeah, Osakowski a little bit too aggressive with that 3-quarter front right there.
Romar talking to Sean Kemp with explicit instructions. 46-46 count. 7:40 left in the ball game. State Farm game summary tonight. Game tied at 46. 7:40 left second half. Nigel Williams-Goss 10 points, 4 assists. Dylan Osakowski, who? That's right, the freshman from San Juan Capistrano, California. The big man, 11 points and 7 rebounds. Points off turnovers, Tulane 18 points off of 18 Washington turnovers. The Huskies usually defensively very opportunistic, have only come up with 6 points off of turnovers.
Yeah, tonight they just don't seem to have the focus. 18 turnovers, wow.
Now you're coming back from Vegas where you'd beaten Oklahoma, and the second top 20 team you had beaten this year. You're undefeated. You got 6 days off till you play Stony Brook your next game, and then you get into conference play. You got all the holiday stuff going on. The students, of course, are on holiday break. That sometimes can lead to a letdown.
Yeah, it looked like that's what's happening here tonight.
Upshaw hits 2 free throws. So Johnson comes in with a 3-point play in transition. Upshaw buries a couple of free throws. The Huskies have the lead with 7:37 remaining.
Huskies still in the 2-3 zone. No, they're in the man-to-man now. Went back to man-to-man.
And with this meteoric rise that the Huskies have realized, you are now a team with a bullseye planted firmly on your chest. Teams are coming at you.
Exactly. You get ranked in that top 25. Everybody wants to prove they're just as good as you are, and that's what Tulane is trying to do here tonight.
Jonathan Stark to the end line, ran out of real estate. Good double team defense and a turnover.
Yeah, a different look, mixing it up a little bit. Lorenzo Romar going from 2-3 zone to man-to-man. Trying to keep Tulane off balance.
And Lorenzo right now is limited in his rotation because Giroux is over there with 4 fouls. 7:12 remaining.
He's been playing great so far tonight, too.
Yeah.
Can't afford to have him on the bench too long.
Andrews, the jump pass to Williams-Goss. Better ball movement. Andrews a 3 with 18 to shoot, knocks it down.
You know what I was just about to say? Andrews has been really quiet, 0 for 7, but hits the three-pointer right on time.
Andrews' first bucket comes at 6:50 here in the second half. Andrews averaging only 13 a game.
Yeah, crowd trying to get into it a little bit.
Pinckney, jump stops, and a whistle. This will be the 8th team foul, make it the 9th team foul on the Huskies.
Yeah, here we see Nigel Williams-Goss with the drive and kick to Andrews for the 3-ball. Hopefully that'll get him going, because the Huskies are going to need him this last 6:33. They're going to win this ball game.
So that actually was the 10th team foul, double bonus now. So
wow.
Tulane at 6:33 here in the second half of the double bonus. So they can be and should be much more aggressive getting to the rim. Pinckney at the stripe. Pinckney, a 37% free throw shooter, freshman from Lithonia, Georgia.
Wow, 37%.
Yeah, Tulane a 69% team at the line.
Normally you don't see your guards shooting that low of a percentage. Usually the big men, but he hits 1 out of 2.
Yeah, young fellow, a little bit of spin on that one. Dabney will come in. He'll come to get Pinckney. And Dylan Osikowski will come off the bench as well for Tulane.
He's been a difference maker for Tulane here tonight. Osikowski's getting it done.
Tulane started the year this year with a blowout loss to Wake Forest in New Orleans. Then they beat Mississippi Valley State, Southern New Orleans, Southeastern Louisiana, Tennessee Tech. They have beaten Jackson State as well.
This
Mississippi State.
This three-quarter court trap is bothering the Huskies, Kevin.
Williams-Goss, nice play to get into the paint and find Kemp at the rim for the lay-in.
Yeah, one of the rare easy baskets for the Huskies here in the second half.
Stark defended outside by Darren Johnson. Osikowski faces, spins, leans in. Upshaw stands his ground. Sneaking in, though, for the rebound is Dabney, and he'll lay it up and in.
Yeah, for a guard, that was a tough offensive rebound there for Lewis Dabney.
53-49, pressure again bothering the Huskies. Andrews trying to get into the set. 26 to shoot. Williams-Goss, the runner, missed it. Followed up and hanging on the back. Never seen that happen before. I've never seen the ball settle on the back bracket of the rim. Seen it stick between glass and rim, but have you ever seen a ball settle on the back iron like that?
Never. That's a first.
You can do that if you try.
Yeah, Nigel with a nice drive in addition to the big fella Sean Kemp for the easy bucket. Huskies up 4 here with 5:29 left in the game.
How soft is the teardrop? That's soft. They get it back, and Andrews lays it up and in from Williams-Goss.
Yeah, nice out-of-bounds play by the Huskies there.
55-49 count. Washington by 6. 5:19 left. Dabney to start. Oh, I thought he had a step on Anderson. Instead, he'll swing it outside. Mack to the inline, reverses it up. Almost as a second thought. Tipped outside. Henson will grab it.
That was a tough reverse. I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
That was.
Kind of made up his mind at the last minute. Well, I might as well shoot it.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Kemp follows Henson into the paint. Swatted away by Upshaw to the corner. The last touch by Upshaw. That's his 4th block of the night. And Tulane will get possession.
Yeah, Robert Upshaw doing what he does. I tell you, he's a watchdog. He patrols that paint like a watchdog. Something Huskies haven't had in I don't know if ever. I know not in the Lorenzo Romo era. 7 blocks for the Huskies, talking about their size and length.
You know, the guy that probably comes closest would be Matthew Bryan Ammoning. Nice poke by Andrews to Anderson. Ahead to Williams-Goss. Has a step on Henson, laying it in. 4.5 minutes remaining. And a timeout called by Tulane as the Huskies have methodically, via the defense, open up an 8-point lead.
Yeah, Nigel Williams-Goss getting it done on the break. Here it is. Mike Anderson with the steal, throws it ahead. Nigel Williams-Goss uses his body great. Fends off the defender, gets the bucket. Huskies really needed that.
12th turnover on Tulane. And Washington with 18 of their own. Kind of self-inflicted pain. Although, you know what? Give credit to Tulane. They have 10 steals tonight.
They've been scrappy. The perimeter players have been scrappy in that three-quarter trap that they're running.
Yeah. Really mixed it up and done a nice job here. But Washington opening things up, leading by 8. A block by Upshaw, that deflection by Andrews into the hands of Anderson in the lead pass. And an 8-point lead. Hook and Osadkowski leading the way for Tulane with 11 apiece. Sean Kemp Jr. 14 and Nigel Williams-Goss with a dozen. Washington on a 14-3 run since trailing by 3, 46-43, and 8:53 left. Has Tulane got anything left in the tank? Nice backdoor skip pass, a bounce pass from Osadkowski. And Dabney again can't convert, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Sometimes this is where you can regain your rhythm. You're struggling from the field. You go to the free throw line, knock down a couple of free throws. Maybe he can get it going here in the last 4.5 minutes. But Tulane has been trying to run that backdoor play all game. They finally got it to work.
Dabney cashes in. Tulane at the line, just 8 of 14 shooting tonight.
Yeah, Tulane's bringing their guards up on the free throw line, which makes me think that they're going to try to stay in some kind of trap in defense here, coming off the free throw.
Keijon Mack will come in to get Dabney.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do, Kevin. In a 1-2-2. Going to try to trap the Huskies right around half court.
Aaron Lieberman comes in as well, 6'10" sophomore from North Hollywood, California. Williams-Goss handling, 4:15 remaining, 6-point lead for Washington. Andrews takes the reins now. Williams-Goss out high, trying to work the smaller John Stark, and does for a foul. This will be the 8th team foul on Tulane, and Williams-Goss to the line for an important 1-and-1 here.
Yeah, if Tulane doesn't put somebody else on Williams-Goss, I think we're going to see that play for the rest of the game here with 4:08 left. He feels good about that matchup he has with Stark, and as I say that, they take him out of the ball game.
Yeah, they'll substitute some length out there. Dabney will come out now, along with Osadkowski. And the free throw pinballs in and out. That keeps the door open for Tulane, trailing here by 6, 4:02 remaining. The Green Wave trying to register a tidal wave.
They're trying to register their first win over a top 25 team in 15 years.
Cross-court pass nearly intercepted. Pinckney comes down with it, drives to the hole.
There he is, Robert Upshaw.
Much better job there. Got a piece of it, fanned it, controls it, and here come the Huskies.
That's what he brings to the table. Great rim protector.
Andrews, 20 to shoot, recognizes time and location and the score. Williams-Goss handling, 15 to shoot. Outside to Andrews, shows and goes, and drew the foul.
Yeah,
Andrews comes back with a 1-and-1 opportunity, 3:23 remaining, and Washington leading by 6. Washington on top of Tulane, 57-51. Nigel Williams-Goss tonight here at Washington, doing a little bit of everything. He's posting up a smaller guard. They went to him early. Of course, can break down defenders into the paint. Sets up Sean Kemp, keep the big man happy, give him some honey. Got to give your shooter something, and that was Andrews with a 3, and then he can step out. He's been working on the mid-range and perimeter jump shot. He has hit a 3 as well. Came in at 6.8 assists a ball game, leading T.J. McConnell at Arizona for the lead. Bryce Alford at UCLA as well. 8th in the NCAA in average, and he has 7 tonight.
Yeah, Nigel Williams-Goss is a real good floor general out there for the Huskies. One of the top point guards in all the Pac-12 conference.
So free throws down the stretch. We saw Nigel Williams-Goss a moment ago miss the front end. Now Andrews misses the front end.
And leaving the door open, you just can't do that. And Andrews is a really good free throw shooter, shooting 86% from the line.
Tulane down 6. With it is Jay Hook. Outstanding three-point shooter, but quiet here in the second half.
Yeah, I haven't heard much from Jay Hook here in the second half.
Dabney, however, into
Get
the
it out.
Rejected by Upshaw. That is his 6th. It is recovered by Williams-Goss. And up the floor speedily to the glass. Laid it in. Count the bucket and a foul.
I tell you what, Kevin, he has that little floater shot down, man. Here's one of the reasons why the Huskies are holding teams to 34% shooting. Robert Upshaw blocks that with the left hand.
Yeah. Keeps it in play, leading to a break.
Yep. Nice weapon to have, huh?
Great weapon to have. Turns that defense immediately to offense. Washington with 9 team blocks. And again, the free throw betrays the Huskies. And a foul called. And that will stop the clock. And it will send Tulane to the line with a chance to score with the clock stopped. 2:53 remaining and down 8 points. Upshaw averaging 4.5 per ball game, has 6 tonight.
Wow.
You know, and earlier this year he fouled out of a game in 8 minutes against Pacific. So you throw one of those games out.
Yeah, he didn't have any blocks that game. I tell you what, if this young man can get to the point to where he's playing 28, 30 minutes a night, man, he's going to be scary.
Yeah.
He's scary already.
Has not started a game this year. Lorenzo's gone with the same starting 5 for 10 games. And I mean, 19 minutes a game Upshaw is averaging, is still getting 11 points, nearly 7 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks a contest.
Yeah, leading the nation in blocks with 19 minutes a game. Impressive.
Osikowski knocks down the free throw.
Yeah, speaking of impressive, Osikowski's been impressive here tonight.
Yeah, that young freshman's he's gonna have some moments. Osikowski, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Andrews surveys the scene with his ball club leading by 7. What do you want to see here, Eldridge's?
Keep possession. I'd like to see the Huskies go inside. You know, they've got 2 guys in there that I think Upshaw and Kemp have the advantage on. I'd like to see them try to get the ball inside.
Well, Lieberman comes in, immediately gets a piece of Upshaw, which is not a bad foul at all, considering Upshaw is, well, shall we say, rather adventuresome at the line, 41%. And that one, straight as a string, he knocked it down.
I tell you what, in the game against Eastern Washington not too long ago, he hit them when they counted. You know, if he can make it when they count, that's all that matters. But maybe they're going to a little Hackashaw here. I don't know.
Upshaw had committed to Frank Martin when he was at Kansas State, and then when Martin took the South Carolina job, he's living down there in Fresno. I don't think he's really prepared for that, and decides to go to Fresno State. Things got a little off track there. Well, they got a lot of off track. He was very immature by his own admittance. Here comes Washington the other way.
Nice.
Long lead pass. Nigel Williams-Goss to Andrews for the lay-in. And Washington has opened it up now to an 11-point spread.
Yeah, the Huskies finally get a little bit of breathing room. Wow.
Hook's been quiet. Missed that one. Kept the rebound.
Yeah, that was a tough shot right there. That was one of those I hadn't gotten one up in a while. Let me get one up.
Anderson looking to Upshaw. He'll get a touch. He turns. A little high hook from 8 is off. And the recovery made by Jay Hook. Under 2 minutes remaining. And Washington leading 63-52. Ball batted down. Upshaw got in the passing lane along with Nigel Goss in the deflection.
Yeah, nice hands by Nigel Williams-Goss on that possession.
Finishing time for the Huskies. Again, holding an opponent under 35%, 31% tonight, Tulane.
Yeah, that's what they've been hanging their hat on all season, their defense.
But their own turnovers, 18 turns, really hurt them tonight. Here's Williams-Goss into the paint. Finds Upshaw, turns to the glass, laid it up, and hurried the shot. It's off the mark. Henson deflects it, Tulane the other way.
Yeah, the big fella didn't quite get his legs up underneath him on that layup.
Dabney has a notion, fires a 3. Tipped up and kept alive by Upshaw as he fans it off the rim.
Yeah, Tulane's leading scorer, Lewis Dabney's had a rough night. And the Huskies going to go to 11-0 the first time since 2005-2006.
Yep. Quite an accomplishment. Team ranked 13th in the country. Andrews has it stripped and a foul. Washington learning how to play with a bullseye on their chest, ranked 13. Teams are going to come in here and they're playing with house money. They'll just let it all hang out.
Yeah, something new. Like you said, having the bullseye. The bullseye hadn't been on in the last few seasons.
6 days to work and tune things up and enjoy the holiday as well. Enjoy some Christmas. And then back to work on December 28th here at home against Stony Brook, a game you'll see here on the Pac-12 Network. And then Washington opens up their conference play on the Pac-12 Network at California. The California-Stanford trip. They have Arizona once on their schedule, and that is here in Seattle on February 13th. And at UCLA, and playing the Bruins just once this year. Stark is fouled by Williams-Goss. And was he outside the three-point arc? They're going to give him 3?
I think so. I think they're going to give him 3 on that one. You know, I don't know how many people in America, I know the writers are and experts are getting their whiteout out. Picking Huskies 6 in the Pac-12, and here they are sitting at 11-0, possibly 12-0 going into Pac-12 play if they can get a win over Stony Brook. I'm really impressed with the way they've been playing. You know, I had some concerns with, like I said early, with Jannard Giroux, Sean Kemp, and didn't know what to expect from Robert Upshaw, but the Washington Huskies have come out this year and shown everybody that they're for real.
As for Tulane, well, I mean, it's a good determined group, and if Dylan Osikowski can continue on this path, you know, they're going to be competitive over in the very, very difficult American Athletic Conference featuring UConn and SMU. Temple had a big win today against Kansas. Temple, a member of the association as well with Tulsa and Houston. 26 seconds remaining in this one. Washington by 10.
Yeah, Tulane has nothing to hang their head about. They came in here and gave the Huskies a good ball game tonight.
Washington holds Tulane to 30.5% from the field. Williams-Goss off the screen with a 3-second differential. Lobs it up top. There is Kemp for a two-hand jam. Kemp 16 points tonight to lead all scorers.
Yeah, you love the way Nigel Williams-Goss worked that. He just milked the clock down, had the guy on his back, threw a nice little lob.
Nigel with 9 assists tonight. And the shot by John Stark is good. 66-57 final. Washington with a win tonight over Tulane. And Washington now 11-0 on the season.
11-0 for the second time in Lorenzo Romar's tenure here, with a chance to go 12-0 with a victory over Stony Brook next week. But Tulane Green Wave, I got to take my hat off to them. They came in here and gave the Huskies all they can handle tonight.
So the lads from Tulane came in here and certainly got the attention of Washington, but the Huskies just too strong in the last 5 minutes of play to win this one tonight, 66-57. For Eldridge, Rick Hasner, Kevin Calabro, thanks so much for the fine women and men of our crew here tonight in Seattle. We wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. And we'll see you down the road here on the Pac-12 Network.